It started as an ordinary sunny afternoon in a quiet American neighborhood. Kids were outside, laughing, running, and shooting hoops in a driveway, just like they did every weekend. No one could have guessed that within minutes, the joyful sound of a bouncing basketball would turn into screams of fear and pain. What happened that day would end up in front of the sharp-tongued, no-nonsense Judge Judy, where truth, pride, and responsibility would collide. Dalton Clayton, a young boy full of energy and kindness, was out playing basketball with two of his friends. The boys were laughing, teasing each other about missed shots, and enjoying the warm day. Nearby, their neighbor, Mr. Mixon, was walking his two dogs. The animals were strong, full of life, and not exactly easy to handle. One of them had a habit of growling at sudden movements, something Gerald knew but didn't think much of. As he passed by the driveway, the boy's basketball rolled out toward him. That's where everything began to go wrong. Dalton's mother, Mrs. Clayton, later told the court that her son was just being a normal kid, playing outside, minding his own business. But Mixon claimed something else entirely. According to him, the boy ran up too fast when he went to fetch the ball, startling his dog, who then bit Dalton in self-defense. Gerald insisted that it wasn't his fault, that his dog only reacted out of instinct. But when Judge Judy asked him to tell his version, the story started to fall apart. He began by talking about contractors at his house, something Judy immediately brushed off. "I don't care about that," she snapped. All she wanted was the truth, clear and simple. Gerald said he was walking his dog near the driveway where Dalton and his friends were playing. When the ball rolled toward him, he claimed he tried to help by retrieving it. As he bent down, Dalton supposedly ran toward him, and that's when the dog bit the boy's leg. But Judge Judy wasn't buying it. "Even if I believe every word you say," she told him sharply, "you're still responsible for his medical bills." The courtroom chuckled nervously, and even Gerald couldn't argue. Judy made it clear, having a dog comes with responsibility. Then came Dalton's turn to speak. Nervous but honest, the boy explained that it didn't happen like Gerald said. He and his friends were just playing basketball when Mr. Mixon walked up with two leashed dogs. The man even asked to take a shot. Dalton had the ball in his hands and bounced it to Mr. Mixon, who caught it with his left hand while holding the two leashes in his right. But as soon as Gerald raised his arm to shoot, one of the dogs lunged forward, biting Dalton on the right leg. The boy screamed and stumbled back, trying to get away, but before he could, the dog bit him again, this time on the left leg. Dalton's voice trembled as he recalled the moment. The pain, the panic, the confusion. His friends froze, watching in shock. He remembered falling, crying, and seeing the man struggle to pull the dogs back. It wasn't just one bite. It was two. Judge Judy leaned forward, her sharp eyes locked on Gerald. "Does that sound familiar to you?" she asked. He shook his head. "No, ma'am," he said quietly. He stuck to his version, claiming he never asked to shoot the ball, that Dalton ran toward the dog too quickly. But Judy had already made up her mind. "You're supposed to have sufficient control over your animal," she said firmly, "especially if your dog has shown signs of aggression before. Even if that boy was running for a basketball, you should have had your dog under control." Her gavel slammed down with authority, echoing through the courtroom. But the story didn't end there. The dog had been taken by animal control after the bite, kept in the pound for a week, and later returned home. They said the dog wasn't dangerous. Its vaccinations were up to date, and Gerald got him back. But for Dalton, the scars weren't just physical. His mother explained that Dalton began to have nightmares, waking up terrified, shaking, remembering the attack over and over. Doctors diagnosed him with PTSD. He started seeing Dr. Kaplan, a therapist who helped him deal with the fear. Even their family dog, a gentle greyhound they had rescued, became a problem. Whenever Dalton came near it, the boy would tense up. Sometimes the greyhound would growl in its sleep, and Dalton would run from the room, his heart pounding. The Claytons loved that dog, but eventually, they had to make a heartbreaking decision. They returned her to the shelter. Mrs. Clayton said it wasn't fair that her son felt unsafe in his own home. Judge Judy listened quietly, nodding. She understood. She knew that some wounds run deeper than they look. She asked about medical bills, around $250, Mrs. Clayton said, but explained that the emotional trauma went far beyond that. Dalton was still in therapy, still waking up from nightmares about the attack. Judy asked Gerald about his homeowner's insurance. He admitted that his insurance could have paid for the damages, but said they warned him that if Mrs. Clayton sued for more than medical costs, They would drop his coverage. So you didn't want to lose your insurance? Judy pressed. No, ma'am, Gerald replied. But it was clear that fear of losing his insurance mattered more to him than taking responsibility for what happened. Judy sighed. It's unfortunate, she said. I assume you didn't want this to happen, and I believe you didn't anticipate it. But your dog caused injury, not only physical injury, but substantial emotional injury to a child who won't forget being bitten twice. And that is your responsibility. The courtroom went silent. Dalton sat beside his mother, holding her hand, his eyes wet but steady. Gerald stared down, realizing there was no more arguing to do. Judge Judy's final words were clear and decisive. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000, she announced, slamming her gavel. That's all. The sound of the gavel echoed through the courtroom as the session ended. The bailiff's voice followed. Parties are excused. You may step out. As they left, Dalton and his mother felt a small sense of relief. The money wouldn't erase what happened, but it was a form of justice. For Gerald, it was a harsh lesson that owning a dog isn't just about love and companionship. It's about control, responsibility, and understanding that one careless moment can change someone's life. Outside the courtroom, Mrs. Clayton hugged her son tightly. You were brave, she told him. Dalton nodded, his eyes glancing toward the courthouse doors where Gerald walked out silently. That day wasn't just about a dog bite. It was about accountability. It was about a young boy who faced his fear, a mother who stood up for her child, and a man who learned that no matter how much you deny it, the truth always finds its way out, especially in Judge Judy's courtroom. And as the audience had learned once again, when Judge Judy speaks, justice isn't just delivered. It's biting.